This is a public bonsai garden that was built by volunteers, and we opened originally in the year 1999. We are maintained by staff of volunteers that work here. They have expertise in bonsai. We have a curator. Her name is Kathy Shaner. She is a certified bonsai master from the Japanese Bonsai Society in Japan. So we are part of the Golden State Bonsai Federation of California. It's entirely run and maintained by volunteers. Bonsai Garden is open to the public, free of charge. We've built all of the structures on here. We built the fence, the paths, the bonsai benches, and everything else. The collection has about 200 trees in it. Because we're restricted in size, we can only exhibit about 40% of them at any one time. But we do have a reserve area where we keep our extra trees and we rotate them in and out. The significant thing about them is that they require a constant attention. In the summertime, they have to be watered. These are outdoor trees. They're mostly come from the temperate zone areas of the world, and they need outside, they need seasons, they need winter, spring, summer, fall. They need to go through that. You'll notice that these trees, the deciduous ones, have lost their leaves. This is because this is being filmed in December, and we're going into a dormant area, and these trees are starting to rest. So a lot of our work now starts because this will be our repotting season. So these trees get repotted every 3 to 5 years, and in some cases a little bit longer because they're bigger, harder trees and to do. But some of our smaller trees, we try to repot them at least every other year. We call this the big twisty because nature twisted this around completely. We had nothing to do with it. Nature did this. It's collected and certainly is one of the better examples of Sierra junipers in the bonsai world.
How old do you guess this is?
This tree is probably, I'd say at least 500 years old. It could be 700, 800 years old. This is a trident maple. It's called a root over rock, where the root of the tree has been grown over a rock. This is a very old tree, which, by the way, all of the trees in the bonsai garden have been donated. So this is another tree collected from California. This is called a California juniper, and this is collected in Southern California, probably from the Jawbone Canyon, which is close to the Mojave Desert. This is a Japanese black pine. It's called a cork bark pine because of the way the bark corks up. These are always grafted onto black pine roots. So this is our Damio Oak. This tree was imported into the United States in about 1865 by a gentleman by the name of Burlingame. He was an envoy to China for the Lincoln administration. And then I'd say this tree is probably 300-400 years old, something like that. So this is one of our most famous trees. This was brought to the United States. This is a Japanese black pine, brought to the United States in 1915 for the Pan-Pacific Exposition. Makes it a little over 400 years old now. I say this is a 400-year-old tree. This has been in a bonsai pot for that long. The Sierra juniper that we talked about, that was collected probably 50, 60 years ago. So as a bonsai, it's only that old, but as a living tree, probably much older than this one. So we rank trees in a couple ways. One is how old is it, and B, how long has it been a bonsai? And this is a very fine example of an oak tree because it's styled as you would see an oak tree out in the wilds. One of the things about bonsai, by the way, bonsai as an art form has a couple rules. First of all, it has to be a woody tree, not a grass, and not a succulent, but a woody tree like an oak tree, has to be in a pot and generally should be styled to represent that tree as you would see it in nature. So you have to style it, you have to have it in a pot, and it has to be a live woody tree. So those are generally the three tests for what a bonsai tree is. So this is a coast redwood tree, a very popular species in California for bonsai. You just happen to be looking at it from the side and the back and not the front. So the front would normally be over here. So all bonsai trees have a front and they have a back. You can tell the difference in that the apex or the top of the tree should lean toward the viewer. And then it's designed in the front to show the best features of the tree. So, and sometimes the most controversial part of a bonsai tree among bonsai artists is what is the proper front for the tree, and that gets big discussions. So this is actually called a saike. It's a landscape with trees on it, and these are Japanese maples. There's probably around 40 on here. I think there were 44 when we got this, and we thinned out a few. It was a little bit overcrowded. Japanese maples, and you can see that it's going dormant. All the leaves are coming off, and probably either today or sometime next week, all the leaves will be cleaned off, and we'll clean this up for its winter dormancy. And for deciduous trees, which is what this is, the winter is the best time to view them by the bonsai artists, because you can see the structure of the tree inside and see how well it was done. This is probably the oldest living plant in the collection. This is, again, a California juniper, collected from the Mojave Desert area, somewhere down there. I'm not sure exactly where, probably Jawbone Canyon. Because this is a desert tree, grows in the desert, it grows about an inch every 50 to 100 years. So this is all part of the original tree. So this tree easily could be over 1,000, could be up to 1,500 years old.